Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of How to Punish. Today we'll be looking at the Kollector. Unlike the rest of the characters I've done recently, he hasn't been mentioned anywhere on any tier list other than quite close to the bottom. But I've just been fighting a lot quite recently, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to check him out. Because yesterday I was popping off on stream and I was saying, oh, Kollector's a whack. And then I got absolutely bodied. So I thought it would be better just to take a look at what he can do, you know, for my sake and for yours, so we can just get a better handle on what it is exactly this guy is capable of, because he seems like a really weird character. I'm filming this on my stream as well, Twitch TV/Sodium Gym, so if you see me just randomly talking to people, it's because I'm on my stream too. So let's get into it. Here's normals. I just don't understand what they were really going for. A lot of the time when a new character or something is introduced, or you see a character design for certain characters, it's quite clear what sort of role they fill, even if they're new characters. So Garrus is quite, you know, he's a good, well, if you're just going by the Infinite Warden spec, he's like a good sort of rush down, almost pressure character, and he's also almost an anti-zoner character with the sand trap, so you can see like he's been given those tools. Scarlet, you know, she's quite a pronounced, she's not new, but she's new, they've redesigned her for this game. She's quite a pronounced, yeah, it is instant karma, yeah. Kollector is whack, Jim gets bodied, labs Kollector. Yeah, that's the circle of fighting game life, man. The circle of fighting game life is you get bodied, and then you're like, I need to go into the lab. Yeah, Scarlet's got quite pronounced tools for zoning, so you know that she, you know, all the long-range normals and stuff, she's a zoning character. But Kollector, I don't really know what his niche is. He's sort of got, as his name implies, he's sort of collected a bit of everything. So, but anyway, we'll go through the moves, we'll see what he can and can't do, and then we'll see what, because the folly of characters that aren't as played as often is that often they get away with stuff that they shouldn't be, because whoever's playing them relies on the fact that you don't know what they're doing, or what they're doing is punishable or whatever to a certain degree, so they just get away with it. Oh yeah, Jim is temporarily whack. So yeah, the whole reason why you take these characters into the lab is so that you can go through them and just, even if it's not learning them in depth, just to see the stuff that you keep getting hit with, so you can figure out how to, if not prevent it, at least punish it. So at the top, standing 1 is an 8-frame standing 1, and it's -2. So it's a little bit more unsafe. I mean, it's still safe, but it's a little bit more unsafe than a lot of standing ones. Back 1 is this weird mid, and it's actually -11. See, this is what I mean about him having weird buttons. What is this back 1? Anyway, it's -11, so if he just does that on you, it's unsafe. Forward 1 is this low. Okay, so this forward 1, it leads into a combo, a string. This forward 1 is his main combo starter. 13 frame startup, -1 on block, so it is safe. And this is the button where I would always say to you, if you're fighting a Kollector, block low mostly, because you'll be stepping backwards and forwards, and the range is quite good for a 13 frame startup. Sorry, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, Probius. I've never ever played Probius. I just used to love seeing him when I was Genji, because he'd try and get away and then I'd just dash through him. Yeah, so always block low if you're gonna, not always, but if you're in neutral, I think it's better to block low against Kollector, because yeah, this is his main combo star. Forward 1, sickle slice, and it is -1 on block, so it is safe. Down 1 is 8 frames as well, and -5. Standing 2 is this like lantern move, which is a high, 13 frames -8, so that's actually unsafe. Back 2 is another mid, -7, that's unsafe. 10 frame start. Forward 2, it sort of just reaches out and touches you, -6. 13 frame startups. All of these 2s are 10, 13 frame startups, yeah. And then down to his officers. He's got a really good uppercut, actually. It's sort of like Devorah's in that he's sort of low profiles, and you see his arms on his back shoot up, and it's got quite a high hitbox. And it can hit you even if the jump is quite shallow, so be careful when you're jumping in on Kollector. And then Violent Heal, standing 3, -7. Back 3. Ah, this is his anti-air, so this is quite a good anti-air. If you try and jump in on him, I mean, it's 2 hitting as well, and the range, the second hit actually looks like it hits from further away than the first hit, because he does this little pirouette. And as you can see, it's got a really good upwards hitbox, so if you're jumping in on him, this is what I've been hit by when people anti-air. -3, so what is it from close? So -5 from close, but then from far away, I think it's at -3, -4, yeah, so the further away, so it sort of works like a projectile almost, because in this game, projectiles thrown from certain distances have different frame data, so that's why this must be considered almost a projectile, because it's the further away you get, the safer it is on. I mean, it's safe regardless, but okay, that's interesting. So maybe you can't parry it with a normal parry. Maybe you'd have to parry it with a projectile parry. I don't know. I might be thinking too much into it, but that's definitely the case with projectiles. Forward 3 is this boot, -5, sort of like Sub-Zero's and Shao Kahn's, where they sort of do a little dash. It's got quite good range, and it's safe. So collectors like to use this on you to try and close the gap. I mean, I think he goes almost full screen. Yeah, pretty much almost full screen. But it is -5, so that is safe. And then you got down 3, which is low. Quite good range, -6, that's pretty much safe. So that's interesting. Looks like it's got a good button. Yeah, good range. And you got 4, which is that, it looks like a mid, but it's actually a high. -6. Oh, like similar to the back 3. The 4 changes frame data depending on how far away you are. So it actually gets safer the further away you do it. But again, another very high range move. So he's got quite a good selection of long range buttons. So if you want to play like a more traditional like zoney game, I guess maybe he's good for that. But yeah, that's safe if he does that to you. Then he's got this yo-yo, mace drop, -14. So that is super duper unsafe. Who does that to you? I don't think that's special cancelable either. Oh, it is. Okay, so be careful, because he might pull the trigger on something after he's done it. And I think, did I see it? Yeah, so be careful. This move by itself is completely unsafe, but he might special cancel it into something else afterwards. But yeah, that's -14, very unsafe. Tax burden. That's a good. That looks like a great though, actually. Back 3. Sorry, back 4. 16 frames up, and it's -3, so that is super safe on block, and it's quite fast as well. And then lastly, you got low mace, which sort of goes in with his standing 4. 9 frames start up. That's pretty good for that range. In fact, oh, just teleported. Spoilers, he has a teleport. Yeah, that's quite good from that range. Is it out of his down... Gosh on it. Is it out of his down 3 range? So it's not as far away as his down 3, but it is safer. Does it recover quicker? Oh, yeah, and it recovers quicker. So if you want to, if you're going to get poked from a bit closer, they'll probably poke you with this one, and they're both safe, to be fair. So yeah, good collection of buttons. His two buttons mostly are unsafe, he says. No, they're safe. Yeah. Well, apart from actually standing 2 isn't safe and back 2 isn't safe. But I mean, yeah. So actually, he's got quite a good selection of buttons. Looking at it, all of these buttons really are pretty safe, apart from mace drop, which is super unsafe. Do any of these buttons have crushing blows? Apart from uppercut? No, just uppercut. Alright, combo attacks. So he's got loads of strings. A don't know how useful they are. I mean, look, he's literally got loads and loads. I think he might even have the most in the game, looking at it. Bloody hell. I didn't even know he had that many. I mean, I've never seen him use, the few times I've fought collectors, he's not used that many strings. But, yeah. Let's see what ones they are, and then I can tell you which ones are more likely. Hey, morning, Papa Masha. How you doing, my dude? You alright? You back at work today? How's your missus doing as well, actually? Yeah, we'll see what they look like, and then I'll tell you which ones are the ones I usually get hit with. So you've got 1, 3. Safe. 1, 3, 1. Safe. I've never seen that string before in my life. You're going to hear me saying that a lot against Kollector, because the collectors that I have played against have a very specific game plan. Okay. Then you got back 1, 2. So that's that weird button. So it actually doesn't even combo if they block. It only combos on hit. So that's interesting. So that's what it looks like, all 3 hits. But it doesn't hit if you block it. I wonder if so it is a natural combo if it hits. Obviously it's a string, but I wanted to check to see if potentially you could almost mini option select it. So if you keep pressing it and they stop blocking after the first hit, will it keep going? But probably not. That's not how NRS strings tend to work. They tend to just be if you hit with a thing, then you hit with it. But so yeah, we can't even check what that is, but we know this is -11. So actually that's good to know that he can't finish the string, because the rest of it, because it is 3 hits, but he can't do the rest of it if he doesn't hit you with the first bit, and it is a mid, and it is -11. That's his back 1, so that's super blockable. And then you've got forward. Alright, so this is Kollector's bread and butter, this string. Ill-gotten gains. So, Kollectors will be walking backwards and forwards, start switching because they're mad, walking backwards and forwards, and then hold on, let me stick her on. Stance on. So she's blocking high now. So you think, alright, walking backwards and forwards, and then he hits you with this. He's stabbing you for 23 minutes. That's the most tilting thing about Kollector's strings, is that they go on for so long. You're just like, man, just stop hitting me. But yeah, so this forward 1, 2, and then this is where you got to be careful. So you know how I told you at the start, always block low against Kollector, so he can finish this off in 2 ways, as you just saw. So the first way, slice and dice, is forward 1, 2, down 1, and that is an overhead. Or he can finish it with forward 2, down 2. Oh wait, are they both overheads? No, I think I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, and there's a low. So I pressed the wrong button. So slice and dice has a low ender, and debt is paid is an overhead. So this is his only real string, like normal mix-up. This is why I say tend to block low rather than high, because this is his, as far as I'm aware, this is his only overhead. Overhead low mix-up. So let's see what that is on block if you do get hit with that. I imagine that's quite punishable. So the low is -15, so that's super punishable, and the overhead is -14. So they're both super punishable. So if you think they're gonna, this is just a guessing game though. It's literally a 50-50. Either he's gonna go low or he's gonna go high. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you get hit with either of these, because he can't continue it. He can't special cancel into it afterwards. So, you know, if you get hit, if he does this string on you a couple of times and you get hit by the low or the overhead, you know, you can probably figure out, potentially read what he's going to do next. But more often than not, Kollectors tend to just use this as a hit confirm into this stab move. So yeah, this is why I say block low. So forward 1-2 is not safe if you've got a 7-frame jab or a 7-frame down 1. I mean, it's pretty safe because you'd have to react quite quickly, and you can special cancel it as well and finish the string off. So you have to be very careful, but both enders of the string are super punishable. Okay. Then you've got 2-1-3. So this is a hit, sort of like a hit throw, where it does like a little animation afterwards. Oh, can it actually restand you? Okay, interesting. I didn't know that, but everybody, all the collectors I fought that hit me with it to finish it off. So I imagine you can only press the 4 after the 1-3 if you've hit confirmed the 1-3, but let's check, just to double check. You can't do any shenanigans. Yeah, so he can't do the 4 unless he hits with the 1-3, and the 1-3 is actually safe, which I didn't know, which is good. God, good to know. So that's 2-1-3. Play mine, mine, mine. For people that don't know DC Comics, I've got a funny feeling that originally Kollector was supposed to be Laughley's and Injustice 2. I mean, if you guys know anything about, just a random side tangent, if you guys know anything about the Green Lantern universe in DC, there's a bunch of different coloured Lantern Corps. I'm not going to get into it all now, but the Orange Lantern is a guy called Laughley's, and his gimmick is that he's really greedy in that he wants everything, like he wants to just own everything in the universe. So I've just got a really funny feeling that a lot of this stuff was supposed to be Laughley's related, and I'll see if I can find a picture and use it as the thumbnail for the video on YouTube, but it's just a sinking suspicion. I mean, it's not got anything to do with anything really, but it just makes me laugh. Yeah, so forward 2-2. I've never seen that string before, but that's -5, so that's safe. This is what I mean. Look how many strings he's got. So we've gone through 10. So he's got 19 strings. Which I'm sure is the most in the game. And literally the only one I ever see is that one. Forward 1-2. Or forward... what was the other string we just did? Oh no, just standing 2-1-3. Literally, I never ever see any of these strings. I've got no idea what they do. So that's sort of another standing hit grab. Forward 2-2-1-3, which is super minus. I don't even know what that does. Let's see. You'll see me, as I said at the start, you'll see me say a lot, I have no idea what this does because I never see it. Oh no, sometimes I see that, but as a combo ender. So that so collectors have a move which I'll show you later that restands you, and I think they like to do that to finish it off. And it's got a side switch, so it's not too bad. I have seen that move. It's just because I didn't recognise the first 2 bits of the string, but I recognised the hit ender at the end. Back 2-3. Okay, I've never seen that string before. But back 2-3 is -8. So it's mid-low, and then mid-low, mid-low-low. Oh, that's interesting. It's a double low string. No, it's quite rare to see. Wait, am I going mad? It's a double mid. Oh no, mid-low mid. I was going to say, I was like, double low strings are quite... Only Frost I know has got a double low string as far as I'm aware, a 3-4-4. But yeah, never seen that string before. But it is super unsafe. I mean, he pushes you quite far away, so it might be a bit tricky to punish. But maybe you can get like a -1, or if you've got a 16 frame special move, potentially, you can punish that. But it is very unsafe. 3-2. High overhead. I've never seen that before. But that is -8. So again, it's not safe, but he does sort of knock you away. Yeah, I've never seen that overhead before. That's why I said to you before with the other string, the this one. I was like, this is only overhead, because I've never actually seen that overhead ever in a game, but he does have it, and it is unsafe. But it might be a bit tricky to punish. Forward 3-1. So this one you see quite a lot, because what collectors like to do is interesting that it is only, you can't cancel it unless it hits. That's very interesting. Okay, so this string you see quite a lot. Mostly again at the end of the bowler restand if you're a bit further away, but I mean, you must have seen this string. I think this was in his trailer, and it's quite a good. So the forward 3, so what they like to try and do is whiff punish with it. So if you're, or like punish you if you do something. So it's like if you do a scorpion spear and it gets blocked, they like to try and close the distance. Like Sub-Zero's forward 4, they like to try and close the distance, and then they can finish off the string. It's not hit confirmable into a special cancelable rather, as far as I'm aware. No, it's not special cancelable, but it does do reasonable damage, and it pushes you full screen. So, and knocks you down. So it's an okay string. I mean, you can't really see what it is on block because it doesn't come out if they block it, but yeah, forward 3 is -5. So if you get hit with this bit, he can oh wow, he can't actually special cancel that. So you have to be careful if you block that, because he might special cancel it into something else. But this is safe by itself, the forward 3. Then you got 4-4, which is -11. That's unsafe. 4-4-3. Okay. Maybe this does something on hit as well. Oops. Oh god, I don't want to fight an AI Devourer now by mistake. Oops. Okay. So 4-4-3 is a low that knocks you down. I imagine that if the first hit, which is a high, if the first, I can imagine that the X can probably be cancelled, into the 3 rather can be cancelled by even if they don't. So if you block both, why isn't it blocking? Oh, if both 4s are blocked, he can't cancel into the 3. But I imagine that even if he hits you with either of those, he can hit confirm it into the 4-4-3, or just the 4-3 if he hits you with the second 4. But that's -11. So if he just does 4-4, is that cancelable? Oh, that's also cancelable. So be careful if you decide to press a button after it, you might get hit. But as far as I'm aware, if he was just to do that to you normally, that's super punishable. -11. So see what I mean? He's got all of these strings. You rarely Josiah Tank. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it today, but usually Thursdays or Fridays I do a King of the Hill. So if I don't do one today, I could do, potentially I could do one later. I'm playing on PS4. I like to just do a whole day of it and just have people. Hey, the Darren Collins, thank you so much, man, for the alliance. Ah! Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I like to do King of the Hills. So if I don't do one today, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. I might not be doing it today, but potentially later on in the afternoon, if I start getting washed in ranked, we can do a King of the Hill. But give me a follow, because I'll definitely be doing one. I definitely do at least one day a week King of the Hill. So if you want to play me, then by all means join the chat, and then we can get cracking. But yeah, Kollector's got 20 strings, and literally you see maybe 4 of them. So I don't know. I just don't know what the point of giving him so many strings is. Potentially, he's got a funny feeling that he might be 1 buff away from being a really, really strong character, but I'm not holding out. Or if a really top tier player uses him, potentially he's got that option to be really good. But I don't know. Right now, I don't really see it. But anyway, on to his special moves. Demonic Mace. Okay, so this one is, I think it hits you from quite far away if you fully charged it. Yeah. So that's how long it's. I mean, it's got quite a long startup, 34 frame startup. So you can probably react to that if you see him just doing it in your face. That's what some collectors like to do. They like to try and bait you out. So if they think you're going to press a button after a block string and they do a string that pushes you a little bit further away, they like to cancel it into this to get you to press a button, and then you get clunked by it. But 14 frames. He can actually cancel it as well, and he can hold it. So be careful if you're worried about, if you don't have the confidence to try and punish that mid if you don't have the confidence to try and punish that mid animation, just wait for it to finish and then try and pressure afterwards, because he can let go of it at any time. And then as far as I'm aware as well, he has a crushing blow attached to it if he fully charges it. Yeah, so just be careful with that one. Even though it is punishable on block, he does push you away a little bit, but even though it is punishable, just be wary that he can hold it. And if he holds it for the whole way, and if you're panicking, you think, oh my god, what am I going to do? Smooch, you get crushing blowed. So be very careful with that one. And he can do, oh yeah, he can shoot it high too. So in this spec, he can shoot it high. So this is his back in the pack variation. The other variation, which is called spare change, I never see. So I mean, it's rare enough that you get a collector anyway. So, but this, if I do get them, it's with this spec. I keep calling them specs, variations, I guess. I don't know, man. I just don't see what he does. I don't see why you would pick the collector over somebody else who seems to do what he can do, but much better. It's like he's got zoning buttons, but you wouldn't pick him instead of Jade or Scarlet. He's got a command grab, which I'll show you, but he's not better than Geras or Jax. You know, he's got a teleport, but he's not better than Raiden. So it's like, why have you given him all of these tools, but he's not better than anybody who has them? I mean, it's nice that he has all of these options, but he doesn't really seem to excel at anything. Yeah, so he's got an Updemonic Mace. That's quite a good anti-air as well if you get clocked by it. It's got a bit of a... You can hold this too, and cancel it too, but the thing is, actually I've just noticed, so the animation is the same, apart from he looks like he's looking up when he does the up mace. So maybe that's a little bit like Cetrion's rocks. You don't really know which one she's doing until she does it. With this one, in the heat of the moment, you might think, oh, I'm going to jump it, and then he hits you with the up one. So, or even both, he can hold that one too. Does this have a crushing blow attached to it as well? No, it doesn't. So it's not the end of the world if you get hit with the up one, because it doesn't have a fully charged up one, because it doesn't have a crushing blow attached, but it does get you while you're standing. It is a high, so how far away? And the range is pretty ridiculous as well. So yeah, be very careful of both of these. But they are both, if they do them in your face, they are both minus 14 when fully charged. I think it said minus 11. Oh no, minus 14 regardless. So that's interesting as well. That's good to know. So regardless of how long he holds it for, it's got the same frame data, and you can get a good punish on either. What charge? That's the charge. Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So if you've got, yeah, that's a good point, Games and Games. Hey, Claudio Bug, how's it going, my dude? Yeah, Games and Games. It's true. If your stance changed, yeah, you've got no idea what he's doing. Hey, you can't see my mace. Oh, maybe that's a mix-up. I mean, you can sort of see him angle his head a little bit, but it's much harder to see. That's a good point, actually. How you doing, Claudio Bug? You alright? But he can cancel that too. So Shotel Fury, this is the main move that he cancels into, and this is one I was moaning about before that goes on for 4 days. So usually he'll use it at the end of that, and he can amplify it as well just to get a little bit more damage. I mean, 223 for a really easy combo. It's just forward 1, 2, then down back 3. So 200 damage not amplified. I mean, it's quite a good hit confirm as well, because the range of his down 1, if you're not expecting, it's quite deceptive for a low button that can combo. So So yeah, this is like his main combo extender. What does it mean, amplify? Oh, so he can swap. Oh, so he can change sides with it as well. That's good. So if you amplify it, you can either throw him down, or you can throw him the other way. Ah, that's interesting. But let's see what it is on block. I'm sure it's super punishable. I mean, a minus 17. That's mad punishable, and it leaves him right next to you. So if he whiffs this, if he doesn't confirm this in front of you, you make sure you get a super punish on it. Josiah Tank. Yeah, no, I said, man, we'll definitely do. Maybe not right now, but we can definitely do. If you come online when I'm doing a King of the Hill, we can definitely do King of the Hills together. Maybe I'll do one after I've done a couple of hours of ranked today, because I streamed till 3, so I did a lot of ranked yesterday. So I'll be more than happy to do a King of the Hill maybe at about 1 if you're still on, and you can come in and we can 1v1 definitely. So yeah, you see this. Obviously, you can only amplify it on here. Minus 17. You make sure you punish the heck out of that. And then he's got another 15 million moves. I didn't even know this one yesterday. I got hit. This is what was undoing me yesterday. So this demonic clutch is a command grab, which I didn't know because I don't play any collectors. I thought this was actually his normal throw. So I was getting super baffled why I couldn't break it. So this is what his actual throws look like. I was getting super baffled why I couldn't break it. And then I realized about 2 games in that it's a command throw. So I'm sure you can tick grab it from stuff. I'm not sure what you can tick grab it from. You can't do it from forward 1. I'm not sure what you can. I mean, I was getting hit with tick grabs. It sort of looks like all of his normal buttons sort of push you out of the range of it, but I was definitely getting hit with tick grabs yesterday. That's what I thought was a throw. I thought it was down one-ing me into a throw, and I was like, why can't I break it? But it is actually a command grab. So you can't block it. Or do it, apparently. So, and you can't duck it. So be careful if you get hit with this. At least I'm sure you can't duck it. Man, what happened to my execution? Doesn't say if it's a mid. Or does it say here? It's just a throw, yes. You can't duck it. And it has a crushing blow attached to it. So if he reads you on a roll and you tries to roll, like Baraka's one, if he reads you on a roll, then he has a crushing blow attached. So be careful with that one. I'm not sure what the ticks into it are, so just be careful. If you start getting grabbed by it and you realise you're getting ticked, then just be careful, basically. I mean, down 1. I just did down 1 into it there. So usually it's like a down button. It's the same with Baraka and Geras. Usually it's a down button into a tick grab. So if you see him checking you with down 1s, just be careful that he can get you with the grab as an option. He also has a teleport. It's a standard teleport, really, but it's done a bit differently to normal teleports. Normally teleports are up down, but this is down down X, down down 3, and he can do a short version. He can't do one where he stays in front, so he's always going to go behind you, but he's either going to go behind you right next to you, or he's going to go behind you far away. Usually they use it to get next to you, in my experiences, and they like to try and hit you with... I mean, classic teleport mix-ups, Raiden and Scarlet do the same thing. They teleport behind you, or Reborn Scorpion. You know, they teleport behind you. They're either going to try and get you to press a button and get you with a string, or they're going to throw you. Or if they've got Fatal Blow, they're definitely going to teleport Fatal Blow. So, You can't jump Collector's Fatal Blow either because it's got a massive like vertical hitbox. So if you see him teleport, I think the best thing to do is probably block just in case. Damned Bowler. So like his mace, he can hold it to extend it, and then eventually he throws it. I mean, what's it? Minus 28 on block. Is it the same if he holds it? Yeah, minus 28. He can't amplify it, but it's always minus 28, so that's interesting. And it's a high, so you can duck it. But what this is used for is as his combo extender, basically, because as I mentioned briefly before, it is a restand. So, and then you get to jump into a combo. So it'll be rare for collectors just to chuck that out, but they can chuck it out and then teleport and get a combo. So maybe if you see a collector standing back and trying to zone you with the bowler, I don't know why it's saying unblockable on the second part of that. If you've been hit by it, of course it's unblockable. But yeah, so be careful if you see collectors, you know, walking backwards and forwards. They might want to try and trade with you if you're trying to zone them with a bowler, and then they definitely have time to teleport behind you and get a full combo. So just be wary of it. Even though it is super minus on block, he can delay it and he can cancel it as well by pressing down, down. And then lastly, he's got another move which he can hold. All of it, he can hold down so many of his special moves. Maybe that's his gimmick, is he just puts you in like a fear that you don't know when he's going to do a special move. But this actually absorbs projectiles. So if I can remember how you do it. Okay, couldn't remember how you do Devora's projectile. So see, it just absorbs it. And then if you amplify it, he shoots it back at you, and it actually counts as his own projectile. So it's, I mean, that's quite a powerful move. It's not a very, I mean, having any sort of parry for you know, regardless of range, is good. But be it for energy, for projectiles, or for physical attacks. But be careful as well, because if he does absorb it, he can amplify it, and he shoots that projectile back. This projectile back isn't full screen, as far as I'm aware. Let's see. And let's get it to stop. And I'm pretty sure it's not full screen. See it moving really slowly towards them. So, I mean, it's quite easy to block, but if you're throwing projectiles at him quite near the corner, be careful, because if he absorbs it, he can shoot one back at you, and it does. Whoop! And he goes back to his home planet, and it does do damage. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, having any sort of parry is good, but it's more of an absorb than a parry. Like a Liu Kang parry or something, where he, you know, gets a proper attack afterwards, or Jade or Scarlet. So yeah, that's the Collector. I mean, this is what I was saying at the start of the stream, at the start of the video rather. He's a cool character. He's got a lot of good options, but they don't seem to be better than people who specialize in that one thing. He's not a better zoner. I don't think he's a better zoner than Scarlet. I don't think he's more of a command grab character than somebody like Kano or New Era Geras. You know, I don't think his teleport is good enough so it's better than like a Raiden or a Scarlet. His strings are fine, but again, he's got 20 of them, but you only see maybe 4. They seem to be pretty safe though, barring the barring these ones, which remember are both minus 17, minus 14 rather. But that's super duper punishable. So be careful. Make sure you definitely punish these two if he use that on you, or this, the Shotel Fury, that's minus 17. So if he doesn't hit confirm any of these specials, and he's just chucking them out there, then you better make sure you make him pay, because these are super duper punishable. Yeah, and like I said, nobody plays the backpack special, so I'm not going to bother going over that just yet, unless it sees some sort of massive resurgence, and then I'll just do another video. But yeah, that's the Collector. Very interesting character in terms of trying to figure out what exactly he's supposed to be. as I said at the start of the video, he doesn't seem at first glance to fill any particular archetype, but yeah, you can tell they put loads of effort into him, you know, just from the way he talks and the way he moves, and, you know, the sort of personality he has. NetherRealm do a really good job of showing the character's personality through their abilities, and I think that's definitely more so in the Collector. I mean, look, he's got these 6 arms, and then 4 of them holding this backpack on his back, and all of his costumes and stuff are really cool as well, and his intros and outros. So, you know, they've definitely put a lot of love into him as maybe like a project of love sort of character, but I've not seen him played really at all in high level. So yeah, until somebody figures him out, you might not see him very often in very often in ranked, but the times that you do, now you know how to punish him. So yeah, block low and just watch out for the command grab basically, and then punish him if he doesn't confirm those specials. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, check me out on my stream. As I said, this was recorded on my stream at Sodium Gym. Hit me up on Twitter, Sodium Gym. And yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. And don't forget, stay salty. Take care, everyone. Thank you.